Taurus Bull Gang, how are you? My name is Yvonne. You might know me as Luna with LT Reads. And I have been channeling so many messages for you. I've intended to do your reading for days now, and I've kind of put it off, to be honest with you. I've been thinking and channeling even more messages, more than I've written down. So I'm going to have to try and trust my mental capability to keep me on track during this reading. I'm already starting to lose it. But, okay, so Taurus, I want to start with the fact that I feel like you're tired. There's something about your sleep schedule that is coming up, because I had tried to initially perform your reading or conduct your reading, whatever you want to call it, during an evening, and I was so tired, and then I went to go to sleep and I was restless. So there's something maybe that's keeping you awake, lingering in your thoughts, preventing you from being able to rest properly or have a proper sleep schedule. Also, I wanted to, while I was driving, before I started this reading, I was thinking about you once again, and the thought came up that I needed to explain to you why I'm doing your reading in this manner. I'm not sure why that came up, but I'm going to do it and honor what Spirit has requested. So, Taurus, what I'm doing is an automatic channeled reading for you today. We do have a lot of tarot that has come up for you, which I find is pretty cool, but limited oracle cards, we'll step into that later. These are the messages that I have channeled for you over time, and how I came about getting these messages is honestly just writing them down randomly as I received them, and then once I received them all, I pulled a card, and Taurus, you are what came up for these messages. So I hope that there's something in here that will help you or guide you, give you confirmation, affirmation, clarity, and let's go ahead and see how this will go. This is a very new process for me, and I'm trying something new. Maybe that's something that's important for you to consider. But let's hope that this flows nicely. All right. So, Taurus, let's start off with, I know I didn't have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. This is a quote, a lyric from the song Folded by Kehlani, an artist who I have loved for many years now. Maybe you would enjoy her music as well, or maybe you do like her, or maybe you find some kind of significance in these lyrics. But I feel like for you, having your own independent space, privacy, in terms of any kind of relationship, whether it's, platonic, personal, professional, or romantic, you do need your own little getaway, and you find comfort in having your solo time, your individuality, and that's a beautiful thing. I totally understand that. But there is also something in your reading coming up about burn versus be burned. And I've been thinking a lot about bridges, burning bridges, and wounds that have festered due to burning bridges. And I'm going to get all philosophical, pardon me, but we think about wounds, right? And sometimes, you have a need to pick a scab, or you don't like an imperfection. But for how many years? Think about an emotional wound, like a physical one, right? How many years, how long are you going to let that fester and pick at it for? How practical is that? If you've burnt a bridge, there's something to be acknowledged about that. Okay? And also, we can be forged by fire, right? Some people fear fire, but you can also be forged by it. So there's also something to be said about holding back from your passions, because in tarot, fires do represent your passions, your confidence, your enthusiasm, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and look at shooting a shot, fairy tales. When it comes to romantic endeavors, it may feel like you need to shoot a proverbial shot that may be risky. And doing so maybe may feel or seem far-fetched to you, like a fairy tale, because whatever it is that you desire seems like it's so far out of reach. We have recognizable connection here, connected to shooting a shot. So there may be a connection in your life that you feel an instant connection with, where you feel instant serotonin with when you speak with that person, where you feel a sense of reciprocal energy, but you still question yourself, is this correct? And that may be a whole part of facing that fire, deciding if you need to burn this bridge or not. Is this emotionally healthy or not? Is this a structure where I can continue to build and grow? You know, there's something about architecture coming in here. Maybe that's just Taurian energy, but like about foundation and stability. But also maintaining your need for space and independence, allowing that boundary to be respected, putting that in place. Okay? Sorry. I warned you that this is going to be all over the place, so bear with me. We have fire, passion, resistance. Okay, yes. So I was mentioning that fire, right? That passion that you need, but you may be resisting it. And you may be accepting the fact that you're resisting it, which in turn, denies you of that passion and squelches that fire that you have burning within you, which, just kind of keeps you folded, maybe keeps you in your own space when really you're seeking a more intimate connection. Only take this if it resonates, all right? I'm not trying to point or jab. This is really just coming in as I'm taking it, okay? No pun intended. But we have, okay, let's go up here. For numbers that may be of significance. So far, we have 17, 23, 69, 777, 333, 222. Over here, we have 31 and 18, 6, 2, and 8. We're going to see more in the tarot as we progress, but I just wanted to make mention of that. If you have been seeing them, those numbers or any of those numbers, take it as a sign of confirmation that maybe this is your reading or there's a message that is here for you, okay? We're still going, but don't leave me. Something about abandonment, maybe. Your fear of abandonment. And if you choose to invest, or maybe you have invested and dealt with abandonment, it's like, I don't want to put myself back into that type of faulty foundation. So it's important for you to build a foundation that is sturdy, a long-term commitment, in whatever manner you feel fits best or resonates best for your situation, that you feel like will be long-term, that you can rely upon, right? Anyways, similar connections require similar passions, goals, and moral ethics. And they also require you to have the time, patience, and trusting the process. That is a message that I got for you earlier as well, is that remember when I said I needed to explain this to you? It's like you kind of want to know where things are going. You want to have an organized plan or see a little bit of the future. Have stability, once again, in what you are investing in. But sometimes we don't always get that privilege, Taurus. Sometimes we do have to take a risk and invest and put in that time, energy, effort to see things grow. So that may be a little bit of your stubbornness, maybe, coming into play. Okay, so let's continue. We have comfort. Yeah. Comfort and expansion, exploration. We need to step out of that comfort zone to expand and explore. And when it comes to finding people that have like-mindedness and the same spirituality, the same vibration, the same level of authenticity, etc., that you do, it's an exciting endeavor. Here again, structure and stability. What have I been saying? Strength and sensitivity. This is something that can be harnessed. There is a strength in sensitivity, okay? You can still keep your independence, your level of independence, have strength in that, and maintain your sense of structure and stability within yourself while still giving to other relationships. being independent and pathfinding and meeting new people. Okay? Oh my gosh. I love it when it flows nicely like this. Okay. You have to be decisive about doing so, though. You have to not fear or have any insecurities, withdrawals when it's like, okay, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to go to this social event. I'm going to interact with this person. I'm going to do this or that, right? Ooh, motorcycle. That's maybe a confirmation. Smoldering and sensual. So maybe it's time to pick up the pace, Taurus. Hit the gas. Fight those internal versus external battles with that fire. Your fire is important here. That's coming up frequently. Your passion, letting that really lead you, okay? And exuding an energy and embracing that energy of confidence, of internal dedication towards the future, all right? Also, there's a casual comfortability, pardon me, without excessive extension. Yes, so it's important to not be egoic or prideful when you move forward with this process. Being stubborn, maybe in moderation can be advantageous for you, Taurus. So let's move over here to divine feminine. Whether you are male or female, I don't read body parts, but the divine feminine, pardon me, is all about self-nurturing, self-empowering, self-care, and also having enough of that self-care to be able to empathize and give it to others. The divine feminine is a very nurturing soul, but she can only be so if she takes the steps and measures, he or she, pardon me, to nurture themselves. And that's what the divine feminine is all about. And we all have that within us, whether we are male or female. All right. So you may be experiencing some grief work, whether it is a loss, a physical loss of a person or a relationship, or just an emotional loss. Either way, my condolences to you, Taurus. You are, I think it's important for you to realize that there's a divine feminine energy that surrounds you and protects you at all times, but also you have that within you. If that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. We have confront. So 18, this is from the Tarot of the Heart deck, and this card represents the moon, which is the fear of the unknown, the darkness, not knowing which path to take, maybe confronting childhood wounds, grief work perhaps, but taking the time to look at yourself in the mirror, see yourself for who you are, and still love yourself for all that you are, who you've become, the resilience that you have, the lessons that you've learned, okay? The 6 of Action here says, what a wonderful experience for you. Your project is a total success, bringing awards, promotions, or other recognition for your efforts. Well done. If someone who can help you offers assistance, know that this person is heaven sent, and say yes. There may be somebody, maybe a divine feminine, who is helping you take a look at yourself, or this person could even be you. But whoever it is, or whatever it is, it does require some kind of action, okay? And I want to look into the tarot here. Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I have to get these piles out here for you. Oh my gosh. And there was a lot of tarot that came out. Your message is long, Taurus. And there's something coming out here about the fact that there's no need for competition. I feel like sometimes with my viewers, they will gauge the timing of the readings and be like, oh, well, this sign got a longer reading than this sign or whatever. But sometimes a longer reading doesn't always indicate, something better. It just means that there's more to uncover, more depth. And I'm not saying that it's negative either, but it's, we're all different. We all have, different themes, different things going on in our lives at different times, and whatever it is that I channel is what I'm going to read. So no offense, and all right, enough ranting and raving. Let's get into this whole spread of tarot for you, Taurus. Burning bridges, okay? I'm going to go back to that theme because I feel like that's strong. I feel like there are connections that you have been or previously have been overthinking, but now you're seeing clearly. The Eight of Swords can represent negative imposition, where you feel like you maybe were obliged to give to a situation, but your level of generosity, your level of participation has been overlooked. And so you are seeing clearly. You're done with daydreaming and fantasizing about, okay, what if they were to actually balance and give to me properly? No. We see that clearly now. With the Ten of Pentacles here, whatever this person is, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a career, maybe it's a friendship. Could be a familial relationship. Whatever it is, it does not bring you long-term stability. It does not bring you joy, balance, reciprocity. None of that. So somebody is being left out in the cold here. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the other person, because I think that you have closed the door. All right. You have realized the lack of abundance within this connection. You felt the loss, and you're seeing clearly now, where formerly you may have felt blinded by making a decision. Should I stay? Should I leave? Right? Now, going from a 2 to a 2, I love the confirmation. Previously, in this connection, you may have felt like there was balance. You could give to each other. You could find a sense of harmony. But now, with the Queen of Cups, there's no emotional stability there. You don't want to give to this anymore. And there's a lid on the amount of affection, vulnerability, and the amount of energy that you're capable of giving to it is, it's dwindling. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, right beside it, 2 queens, it's like, I don't feel comfortable here. I don't want to nurture to this. I don't want to give to this anymore. I don't want to invest in this anymore. Pretty clear. And I'm going to defend myself. I've been persevering for this for long enough, and now I've had to build up my walls and protect myself against potential hurt, because there has been some kind of imbalance here that I wasn't able to see clearly. Giving to this, it was not successful. I didn't receive the attention, recognition that I was seeking. And with the Emperor now, you are taking control. Sorry, I'm speaking as you, but you're taking control. You're having a sense of responsibility, practicality, of loyalty towards yourself, but also being fair to others. It's like, you know what? I know what I deserve. So if you don't, then I'm just going to climb back up onto my throne here, and you can come back anytime. We can do our thing, but if you're not going to treat me with respect, with honor, with dignity, then I don't want it. I've felt apathetic and at a loss for very, very long enough. That's me again, as you. Now, this other person, let's look into them, because for some reason this is coming out. They're still watching you. They're still waiting. They want to see if you want to participate. They want to see what you're up to. They want to see how you feel. But, they're going to have to let go of this, because it's pretty evident that you are moving on. They are not giving you any apology. They reflect upon bad memories, and maybe you do too. It's like, where was this ever good? It's like, I really struggled to apologize or make amends or make things right, but there was no success. And that's a realization now that has come through the lack of communication. Maybe somebody has been deceitful. There's a realization there. Or just the lack of communication has proved that there's no point in putting an effort into this, whether this is you, well, this is their cards, but I feel like it's a shared energy. Anyways, Taurus, this 2 of Swords is coming up again, but being that, I started initially with saying that this is the other energy. So the fact that it's getting all mixed up, sometimes we do mirror each other. Sometimes we do share energies, and you have this 2 of Swords up here in the reverse. You're seeing clearly. Somebody else, I feel like, is still blinded, and they would like to move towards you, but they don't know how. They don't know how to cooperate with you, how to build together, how to cooperate or learn from this experience. And while they would maybe like to offer you an apology, right? It's lacking emotional stability. It feels immature. It's not grounded. It's like a thought, but not an action. And finally, with the Empress here, this is somebody who may be prone to jealousy, possession, insecurity, codependency. They may have a tendency to give to others rather than to give to themselves. However, lacking their own sense of moral being can really be a detriment to those around them. You can only care and give from a full cup. And if you're pouring from an empty cup, you're only, if this makes any sense to you, you're only like serving negativity. I don't know why I'm feeling that. But like with this person, you feel like it's just draining. Or maybe you felt that. Anyways, Taurus, that is your reading. I hope that there's something there that helped you. I'm sorry for how scattered it was and just all over the place, but I hope that there was a message in there that helped you. Good luck. Be well. Take care. Mwah. Love you. Until we meet again. Love and light.